Welcome to the D'Agostino Bros podcast. I'm Peter and this is Leo. And it is officially summer. We can now do more episodes. Sorry, it's been like 3 weeks since we've been able to do one, 3 or 4. But hopefully, we're going to be doing one hopefully every single week when we're not like on vacation or not busy. Sometimes 2 times a week. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much free time we have. Right now, we got a decent amount of free time so we can do more episodes. Today, we're going to be talking about. So we've talked a lot about on the show about Ty Simpson. We're going to be talking about Fernando Mendoza now. First pick in the draft, Raiders quarterback. What we think, how the coaching staff can help him. Is he a bust? Is he going to be good? What we think of him. We'll be talking about top 10 quarterbacks, not the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. However, the top 10, who would you want to have this season? So, for example, if there were top 10 franchise QBs, like who you want as your franchise QB, Stafford probably wouldn't be on the list because he only has a year or two left. But this is this one season. Who do you want as your quarterback? Ranking 1 through 10. Who are you most comfortable with? And then we're starting something. There are 8 divisions in the NFL, 4 in each conference. As you guys probably know. We're starting off. We're going to be talking about this summer. Each division having talking about them. We're starting off with the AFC East today. Just a 10-minute segment to talk about the teams in there, like a season preview thing. Anything to add, Leo?
Nope. Should we get started?
Yep. And we'll be talking about Fernando Mendoza, and that's all next on the Agostino Bros podcast.
Welcome back to the Agostino Bros podcast, and we're here, and we're gonna start off talking about Fernando Mendoza. As you know, he was the first pick in the 2026 NFL draft. And Peter, what were some of your thoughts? Like, how do you think he's gonna do this year?
So, first of all, the reason why we had this segment was because Ty Simpson. We've talked a lot about Ty Simpson on this segment because, on this show, and that's because, we didn't know first round, second round, where's he gonna go? It was a mystery. We all knew from the start Fernando was going number 1. And so Ty Simpson, even more talk about him after the draft because Rams. How's that gonna work? Stafford's gonna be starter. We just sit under Stafford for a year or two. I mean, it's kind of weird. Why would you draft a QB round 1 who's a round 2 talent quarterback at pick 13? But Fernando Mendoza, rightfully so, first pick in the draft. I mean, look, undefeated at Indiana. Look, if you can play good at Indiana, you can play good for the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, this guy, he knows how to win too. I mean, I'm pretty sure he went to, before Indiana, he went to, it was a school in California. I forget it. Pretty sure it was Division 1, but no, I'm sorry. I'm stuttering on it. I think it was Cal. He went to Cal, and then he transferred over to Indiana. Worked great for him. And 2 seasons there, as the starter, and he ends up going first overall. He had basically no shot at going first overall 1 year earlier, and that's how it is. I mean, Cam Ward. Anyone thought he was going number 1 year before he got drafted? Fernando Mendoza. Nobody thought that. Everyone thought Arch Manning was going first overall in that year's draft. Will they go next year? Maybe. Maybe. I think Dante Moore's better, in my opinion. But I think he's good second. DJ Lagway is good too. Julian Saint's really underrated. He's he's a great quarterback at OSU. I know he's got a lot around him, but I think he's gonna. Personally, in my opinion, he's my second favorite quarterback there. I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't even know if he's entering the draft next year. It all depends. And but so Fernando, what he did in the national championship, what he did in the playoffs, just to elevate his draft stock, win the Heisman. Great season for him. Leo, I got a little bit more to touch on, but how about you say some things about Fernando?
Yeah,
in college.
I think if you can lead Indiana to a Super Bowl championship, yes, the Raiders had no one except if you count Austin Genty and Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
And then I guess they have a good center. that they picked up in free agency.
Tyler
Yeah,
Lindbaum.
Tyler Lindbaum. I just think that I still think they're gonna place fourth in their division because there's
Yeah.
3 other great
Mm.
teams. But I feel like this is not gonna be a bad year for
Yeah.
Fernando and the Raiders. I feel like 8 and 9 is likely for them, and I feel like Fernando's gonna do good. So if they can go in the draft with their 8 and 9 record and draft a good wide receiver, then I think this team could be a playoff contender in the next few years, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he had Omar Cooper at uh, at Indiana, but Omar Cooper, he had a better wide receiver group at Indiana than he does for the Raiders. The Raiders might as well have one of the worst, if not the worst, wide receiver group in the NFL. I mean, to put it in better words, Ohio State University had 4 better wide receivers last year than the Raiders. I mean, and that's a blowout. I think they're better. They have better than most NFL teams. That wide receiver combo. I mean, there's just 3 or 4 guys that are insane, including Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. But Fernando, like you said, Brock Bowers is going to be his best friend. I mean, with no wide receivers really. You got Genty, but he's young. He could be good this year. I think he could be really good. He showed some flashes last year
against the Bears.
Yeah, against the Bears, he went all like 2 touchdowns, maybe 2 or 3. But like besides that, like no wide receivers. Defense not bad. I mean, besides Max Crosby, pretty bad. But you have Max Crosby. He's one of the best in the business. I mean, obviously we talked about it in our other episodes. You can go back and watch those if you haven't already. Max Crosby went to the Ravens, or so he thought, but failed his physical and reverted back to the Raiders. It's gotta be a weird scenario. I hope he gets traded soon. It's really, really weird. And they could have used that to get like Omar Cooper Jr. Get him a weapon, something like that in the draft. But he, yeah, like I said, in college he had a good offense around him, and Bowers, yeah, he's a great tight end. Him and McBride are the best tight ends in football right now. McBride is more with catches. Bowers is more with yards. It depends who you prefer, but 2 best in the game right now. Bowers is a little bit younger, but they're both really young. Pretty sure Trey McBride was 2022.
Yeah.
And a big thing that I think is this guy wants to play football. Like, and he likes football like as much as anyone I've ever seen. And the thing was, there's been reports recently, you guys might have seen them. So Rookie Premier, that's a big thing. Panini, I know they don't have the license for football cards anymore. Topps, everything like that. Pretty sure EA Sports with Madden and stuff like that. That's where you go and get your photos taken for the NFL. Like that's where all your trading cards, the photos, most of them are. That's where all of your season's photos for a rookie are taken there. And Rookie Premiere, it's a big media event. Uh, but however, it's during some of the rookies, like rookie minicamp, rookie practices, OTAs, stuff like that. Fernando Mendoza talked about how upset he was that he had to miss practice to go to Rookie Premiere. And like I feel like every single rookie is like, wow, this is a cool moment. It's you get to meet all the other rookies, you get to meet with the media, stuff like that. It seems like a fun thing. Like you've had a lot of stressful times like recently, like with the draft and stuff like that. Now you're getting on the team trying to prove yourself worthy of being a starter. He was like, man, I'm so mad. Why'd they have to do it during practice and stuff like that? And so this guy wants to practice. He wants to play, and that's part of the reason I think he'll be really successful because he really wants it. And like Leo said, they don't have many wide receivers. There's correct me if I'm wrong with this. Besides Max Crosby, there's no one really on their defense. Offense is pretty decent besides wide receiver. But you don't have the pieces to be playoff caliber team. Uh, unless if like he goes off like Drake May with like basically no wide receivers and then puts on a show. More on Drake May later. But it's definitely looking like they could be a playoff caliber team in a few years. I think maybe Fernando, it doesn't really work out. He's like Sam Darnold, great player on a bad team, uh, but maybe not. Anything else you have to comment?
Um, yeah, I just think I agree. I feel like if they get him a weapon, we could see them competing for the division. But I think that would be really hard comparing that the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs are all teams that are possibly Super Bowl contender
Yeah,
teams.
absolutely.
So I think if there was another wild card spot, I wouldn't see him in it. Just because that's gonna go to teams like the Chargers. Probably not the Chiefs this year because Patrick Mahomes is gonna miss a bit. Maybe like the Bengals. I see a lot of teams like Texans if Jags win the division. Um, Possibly even Titans. I just think that Fernando is gonna be one of those players who's good, but he needs help. So I feel like if they can get him some good players, he has potential to be a great quarterback.
Yep, and by the way, Mahomes might be back for week 1. It depends. He's only gonna miss 1 or 2 games if he does. Should be back by week 2, week 3 for sure. So he's in a good place. Recovery's good. He's throwing now. He's playing good. He's been throwing for a while actually. Okay, so next up we are going to name our who do you want for your quarterback this year? We're naming our top 10 options for this NFL season. And that's all next on the DeAugustine Bros podcast. Welcome back to the DeAugustine Bros podcast. So we're doing the list now. Top 10 QBs you want your to be your QB this year. This is not franchise QB. This is not best quarterback. This is this season. Who do you want? So injuries are a part of it. Uh, Age is not really, unless if they get injured a lot because of that. Um, and so number 10, I'm going with the Super Bowl winning quarterback, Sam Darnold. And the reason why he's not higher, the reason why he's not lower is because look, he won a Super Bowl, so he's on this list. Automatically, you gotta put it on there if you won a Super Bowl. Basically, if you win a Super Bowl, you gotta put him on there. And I know, you know, sometimes that's not always the case. However, uh, I just think even though he's not the best Super Bowl winning quarterback ever, look, he won 14 wins um with the Vikings, and I believe 13 or 14 this year, and winning a Super Bowl. The one reason he's not higher is because what would he be like without Jackson Smith-Njigba? With the Vikings, what would he be like without Justin Jefferson? I mean, those are two really, really solid wide receivers, two of the best in the game, in my opinion. I think we can all agree on that. Uh, so when you think about it, he's played for many teams, including the New York Jets. I get it, he was bad. I get it, they didn't have any wide receivers. I get it, the coaching staff was terrible. But, and he is a top 10 quarterback in the league. I wish I could put him higher. There's just players I would rather put. Um, but he is one heck of a quarterback, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I don't think we'll be winning Super Bowl next year, but we'll see what it is. Leo, go ahead.
I disagree with that pick because yes, he won a Super Bowl. But it was just he did Jackson and the Juba. Overall, the stats, in my opinion, there's definitely 10 players who are better than him at least. I wouldn't even put him 11th. So I think that was a bad pick on your part, in my opinion. Number 10, I had Dak Prescott. Um, he's not old, but he's not young. I feel like with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, it definitely helped this year, but he had an overall great year and led them to almost the playoffs.
Yeah, and number 9, I wouldn't have put this a year ago, but Trevor Lawrence had a great year last year. Um, and it wasn't even like Brian Thomas Jr. was his main target. BTJ isn't seeing that many targets from Trevor. He's just feeding the ball to whoever's open. Some plays deep, some plays not. He didn't have Travis Hunter for most of this season, so I do think he is a top 10 quarterback in the league. A lot of people say that the Jaguars are Super Bowl contenders. I'm not so sure about that. Will they make the playoffs this year? I think yes. Are they Super Bowl contenders? No. Is Trevor Lawrence a franchise quarterback? I do believe yes. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Barely. I put him at 9.
Okay. For number 9, I had Joe Burrow. He would be a lot higher on my list. Just the risk of injuries. He tends to get injured a lot. Um, so I think just because of the risk of injuries, I'd put him 9. But I feel like if you're talking about best quarterback when they're healthy, he's up high.
Yeah, he could be top 5 maybe if he's that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of forgot about Joe Burrow when I was making this list. He would be borderline on the list, not. But number 8, I have Brock Purdy, who I do think is a better option than Joe Burrow, so he wouldn't have gotten higher than 8. He probably would have been 10 if he made it, 10 or 11. But Brock Purdy, look, going from Mr. Irrelevant to franchise quarterback is insane, making what, like almost 55 million a year or something like that. I mean, he's special. And it's not like he's it's not like he's a big runner. He's not that dual threat, but he can run. Just like Josh Allen, he's not a running quarterback. He's not fast, but he can run. He can throw the ball to. He has a. I get it. He has a running back. He can throw the ball to, dump it off to. He's a great running back, so they win a lot of games. But also it's not like Ricky Pearsall last year was one of his wide receivers. Um, and it was like he was probably the main option. Uh, Ricky Pearsall is going to be all they have this year for the most part, and him and Mike Evans. But he didn't have Mike Evans last year, and he still put up great numbers. You won't have Brandon Ayuk, it seems like, this year. And last year we put up great numbers, and they didn't have Brandon Ayuk this year, or sorry, last year. So he looks like he can lead a team to a Super Bowl, and I do think it will eventually happen. Don't think this year because crazy division he plays in, crazy NFC this year. NFC is gonna be stacked this year. AFC is gonna be stacked this year. There are some really good teams in the NFL this year, really good. So that's just what I think. What about you, 8?
Um, yeah, I didn't put Brock Purdy. I kind of regret that just because I feel like he's a bit inconsistent, and
Okay, that's fair.
sometimes he gets injured, not much, but there's been a few issues.
Yeah.
So I just think he's too inconsistent to be in the top 10. But maybe I should have put him. Then I have Trevor Lawrence here.
Okay.
I think he's a great quarterback, and I don't think he should have been in the Super Bowl voting, but he did carry their team this year, and I think he's just a great overall quarterback. And I think he's gonna continue to be good, and I hope so.
Okay, so number 7, I have Justin Herbert. Herbert, I get it. He against the Texans, not last season, but the year before that, so the 2024 to 25 season. He ended off, what was it, 4 or 5 picks in the game? 4, yeah. Against Derek Stingley in that lockdown defense. Derek Stingley got a payday now. But and I get it. He has great wide receivers. But in a great overall team around him. I don't think he's going to win you a Super Bowl, but he is going to get you in the playoffs, and he's very accurate. He's a former Rookie of the Year for offense, and he's 7. He is ahead of Purdy. Purdy, you get injuries. Turf toe. Also that pretty sure it was the shoulder injury that was in the end of his first season that they ended up losing in that game. But he just he can amaze you with deep balls and then go out and make some good short throws and then throw an amazing deep ball again and then just very accurate. Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that pick. I had Justin Herbert there too. I just think that Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. I think he threw 4 picks in that one game. That's a great defense with Will Anderson Jr. blitzing you all you can do is try to throw it to Lad McConkey, and then Derek Shinley picked it off like 4 times, or the defense 4 times. But I put him there because also that season he had only had three picks in the regular season. So it's like this not bad 7 picks. Before them came in one game that's bad. So that's why I have Justin Herbert there at 7.
Okay, so 6, I do have Patrick Mahomes. Maybe he'll miss 1, 2, 3 games. But come on. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's the best QB in the NFL. I mean, I think currently Josh Allen is. I'm not saying he's first. I'm not saying he's not on my list. However, if we're talking about who is the best, who's accomplished the most, it's by far Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what this guy's done, I do think the dynasty is coming to an end. I don't think maybe he'll win one more Super Bowl in his career. Maybe he won't. I don't think he's Tom Brady. I'm not sure if he's better than Montana. No. He's probably better than Peyton Manning. Yeah, I mean, if he wins another Super Bowl, then sure. He probably would also beat out Montana, maybe. I don't know. There are some GOAT debates with him. I don't think he'll ever be GOAT, but 6 after having the worst season of your career, and then I'm putting you at 6. Not bad for a quarterback. No, number 6, Leo.
Okay. I totally agree with you there, but I did not keep on the Patrick Mahomes thing, so I thought he wasn't returning to like mid-season, so I didn't put him on the list.
Okay.
I would have put him on the list definitely. But number 6, I have Jaden Daniels.
Hey, it's fine. I didn't put Jaden Daniels on my list because I'm not sure how he'll return with the injury. I'm not sure if he's turning into RG3. I hope not. I'm a huge fan of him. But once again, even when he played last year, he wasn't great. Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, I just feel like it's now or never. Either he plays like he did in the first year, or he just like goes down.
Up, yeah.
I really hope he goes up. I love Jaden Daniels. And I just think if he does, then this is a good spot for him. But if he does, no, I regret that.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's reasonable. I think he was probably 11 for me. I just didn't put him in because of the concern, and he'd probably be the biggest risk. Here, probably the biggest risk on my board would be taking either Trevor Lawrence or Patrick Mahomes. Just because I know they can fall off. Like I've seen them do before. 5 might be a little bit low. I get it. Stafford at 5. I put him in the middle of the pack. I do think the Rams, as of now, my pick is either to win the Super Bowl is either the Rams or the quarterback for the team that I'm picking number 4. That's what it's between now. It might change. I'm still predicting every NFL game this season. I'll probably start in a few weeks or so. However, Stafford, just because of his age, also I think it's kind of weird. Sean McVay, and their coaching staff and their GM and their assistant GM, they all go out. They're like, Ty Simpson, everybody, we're planning for the future. No, you want to win the Super Bowl now. And I think it's got to be a little bit concerning for Stafford, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and a little bit weird that he has to, I wouldn't say mentor Ty, but there's another QB in the building, and he's ready. He was picked with the 13th pick in the draft, and he's his successor. It's kind of weird. He's in the building. But however, when you think about Aaron Rodgers, he was still fine with. He played better when Jordan Love was in the building. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same with Stafford, so that's why I have him at 5. However, though, Jordan Love was taken, I think, 26 in this draft. It wasn't like they went out and they took a quarterback with pick 13 and called it a day. Like, yeah, go ahead, Leo. 5.
Yeah, I definitely think they were trying to do what the Packers do. But you want to win a Super Bowl now. You have a great wide receiver core, great running back, great quarterback.
Go. Sorry to interrupt you. Go out and get a tight end. Kenyon Static was on the board. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could have either got a Kenyon Static or possibly you pick up like a corner or safety or something because that's a bit of a.
They got McDuffie though. They got McDuffie. They could have got an offensive tackle though.
Um, I have to agree with you. I put Matthew Stafford
Okay.
at 5 too. I just think that if you want a Super Bowl now, you don't draft a quarterback that you need mentor. So,
Mhm.
and I feel like definitely I disagree with the Ty Simpson pick. Next year is like the greatest quarterback draft possibly ever. So just go out and get
Ever?
one there.
Ever. Archman would have to have a pretty good season at Texas. He'd have to prove us something. And I already know he's a great quarterback. Going first round, basically locked. But we thought Shore was gonna be picked number 1 at one point in the draft and for the next year, and then he fell to round 5. So you know what it is. Like it's weird. It's a year ahead. See how it is. Okay, I actually thought it was pretty low for Stafford, but I guess we agreed on that one. Number 4, I said other team. I think there's a possibility of winning Super Bowl, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up about it, but I live here in the Chicagoland area. Caleb Williams looked pretty darn good last year, and in my opinion, he should have won MVP. And I get it. You're gonna everyone's gonna be watching. Oh, it's just because he's a Bears fan. He's just saying that. It's not just because he's a Bears fan. If I were to watch every single Bears game that season, especially in the playoffs, I get it. The MVP voting does not happen in the playoffs. It happens at the end of week 18 of the NFL season, after all teams have played their 17 games. But I think for sure he would have been in the conversation if they voted right before, like, honors, and it would have been, you would have seen what he did in that game against the Packers. What he did late in the season was incredible. I mean, it started off 0-2, but after that, boy, did he look good. And now this year, he's got Ben Johnson. From what I can tell, isn't screaming at him anymore. They got a good relationship. Still, Johnson pushes him, but they got a good team. And Caleb Williams, I think we finally have our franchise QB. That's something I've never been able to say in my life because our quarterbacks have been, what, in my lifetime, Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, and Nick Foles. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say Iceman. I definitely agree with you with this pick, and I think as of now that we could see the Bears in the Super Bowl. My prediction as of now is the Bears lose in the Super Bowl to Drake May. But I just feel like
that'd be a pretty good Super Bowl. 41 years after the Super Bowl shuffle and Bears play the Patriots, it would have been epic if it would have been this year, 40 years later.
I just think that he put the team on his back in the playoffs. Yeah, he threw that interception. He had a hurt finger.
It was Moore's fault.
Yeah, it was.
That was Moore's fault. Yeah. Anything else to say on that?
Nope. Who's your number 3, Peter?
Okay, so I'm sorry I happened to see on yours that we had the same one. So how about we just talk about it both together? Yeah. Lamar Jackson. Okay, I get it. It's high for him. He is a cheat code. He is like, I mean, there's sometimes we'll watch him and he's like, there's no way this guy doesn't play in a video game. Like, it's crazy how fast he is. He's faster than everyone on the field, and there's nothing they can do about it. And he's a quarterback, and then he can run all over you guys one play for 40 yards, and then next play throw a 60-yard bomb off balance into the end zone. I mean, it's crazy. I get it. Injuries last year were not good. Last year was not a good season. However, I do have a theory, and I just thought about this now because there's an article that I saw a few months ago. I think Lamar's injury troubles are starting to come to an end. So I'm pretty sure it was Zay Flowers who talked about John Harbaugh. The reason why the Ravens were hurt so much was because John Harbaugh pushed them so hard at practice that it would cause injuries and something like that. They pushed them too hard. It made them like not be well rested. They didn't have enough recovery, all kind of stuff. And it made the locker room not happy. That's part of the reason for firing, I guess. But Zay Flowers was pretty mad about it. Lamar Jackson during his career has missed a lot of practices. Like almost every single Wednesday, he doesn't have practice. He has a rest day. I mean, Lamar Jackson, it seems like he never gets tired, but with injuries and stuff like that, that might be because John Harbaugh did not rest them enough. And I'm not saying he's ever going to be as super healthy, but I was saying this might be the start of something better for Lamar Jackson. Uh, Playing as good as he usually does. However, being more well rested and missing less games and being healthy to help them hopefully win a Super Bowl in the future.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I just think that whenever you watch the Ravens, it's like you're playing Madden. So then you see Lamar Jackson rush, and then he breaks everyone's ankles. Then the next play, it's a handoff to Derrick Henry, and he trucks everyone. And then on defense, it's
The corners.
and then it's Roquan Smith trucking everyone. So it just looks like Madden to me. I feel like he's gonna be a lot more rested, and I feel like a lot of people disagree with me. I don't leave them out as Super Bowl contenders. I think this is gonna be like a better year. Coming off a bad year, losing to the Steelers to not make the playoffs, I feel like this is just gonna be a lot of a better year for them, and they could possibly be contenders, but they would have to beat the Bills, the Broncos, the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound familiar at all. A team doesn't make the playoffs one year, and then the next, it seems totally unfamiliar from what we saw last year with the Super Bowl being Patriots Seahawks. I mean, look, the Ravens were so close to playoffs last year if it weren't for Tyler Loop, but they could have won their division. They could have made a run in playoffs. But that's how Harbaugh's time ends as a Raven. And Lamar Jackson, maybe that's a new beginning for him. And I feel like every single off season he gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. I really hope he doesn't get any more skinny this time because I think that'd be too skinny for a quarterback. He'd turn into Jaden Daniels and get hurt all the time, maybe. But we did see last year teams not making the playoffs, then making it to Super Bowl. We saw it 2 out of the 2 of the teams. Okay, Drake May, number 2. I think you know who that means 1 is. But Drake May, he played great last year. Definitely a Super Bowl candidate. I know it's kind of off topic, but me and Leo collect football cards. We're crazy about it. Recently, in the past few months, all that kind of stuff, I've tried to trade for basically every single one of Leo's Drake May rookie cards. We went to a card shop a few months ago, and I was just like, I'm looking for Drake May rookie cards. Just give me them. Because I know they're going to go up in value because he keeps on getting better. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. The comparisons, like if you're on any other team, nobody would say a thing about Tom Brady just because of that. And I do think he will win a Super Bowl sometime in his career. Not sure if it's this year, just because they're probably getting AJ Brown. However, we don't know about that. It's not certain. And I just don't think this is going to be their year. I don't think they're going to repeat AFC champions. Or they might. They might. I just don't know if they're going to win it this year. I know Leo said he thinks they are. But if I'm looking for QB, I want Drake May knows how to play without much around him, with a bad O-line. Obviously it's hard with a bad O-line. He isn't always perfect, but he can play with it. And then also not a great receiving group, so that's why I have him 2. Go ahead, Leo, 2.
Yeah, I have Josh Allen, number 2. He's just a great quarterback. He can run and he can throw. But I just feel like he didn't do well against the Patriots. Drake May did well against him. So that's why I just have Josh Allen, number 2.
Yeah, the second time we played him, it was a blowout. The Bills were winning. The Bills were winning at halftime, and then bang, Patriots win, and we were like, what? Because I remember we were watching the Bears game. I can't tell you what week it was, but we were watching a Bears game at home, and we just saw the score. We were like, wow, Drake May's not playing good. Drake May's not playing good. Drake May's not playing good. Then we were focusing on the Bears game. And then later in the day, we checked and we were like, oh my gosh, the Patriots won. What just happened? But number one, I have Josh Allen. Look, I mean, Drake May is not a running quarterback. Josh Allen is a quarterback, but he can hurdle you. I mean, that's pretty crazy. He can run with his legs. He can throw. He's the MVP. May isn't. It's really close though between these two. I just gotta say, based off consistency, I do believe Josh Allen will be a little bit better this year. Do I think Drake May could possibly win MVP this year? Yeah. Do I think Josh Allen could win another one? Maybe. I do think Drake May might have a better chance at MVP just because he had nothing around him and he was runner up last year and he's younger. But Josh Allen, if you're looking to win games as a quarterback, I get it. He hasn't made it to the Super Bowl yet, but I think it is happening because the Chiefs might not be an obstacle this year. Bengals, depends on if Burrow's healthy or not. Go ahead, Leo. Drake May.
Yeah, I think Drake May is going to do something that I don't believe anyone's done before: win MVP, win Super Bowl MVP, and win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if that's ever happened before, but I think that's happened.
Patrick Mahomes has done it before. Multiple QBs have done it, by the way.
Oh, okay. But I feel like Drake May is just one of the quarterbacks that hardly ever comes. I just feel like he's just gonna be unstoppable. If he gets AJ Brown, either way.
Yeah.
Then he would just have to rely on like Kayshon Boutte or something. But I just think that's why I have him number one. And after this, we're gonna touch on AFC East. What we think to expect for AFC East this year.
And that's all next on the D'Agostino Bros podcast.
Welcome back here. Now we're going to talk about what we think you can expect from the AFC East here. Starting off with the Bills. I think the Bills, you can expect a good season, as all they did was get better with adding DJ Moore. So I feel like they're going to be possibly Super Bowl contenders, but I think they're like going to either get out divisional round or NFC Championship. So AFC. I think you AFC. So I think you can expect a good year from them, but not a Super Bowl year.
I mean, look, I do think the sky is the limit for them. You have Josh Allen. He's not getting any younger. Bills, if they were to, I mean, like, it's not like he's retiring soon or anything, but this is his 8th NFL season. Like, 8th season with the Bills. Just got a new contract. This is what, his 3rd contract? Yeah, his 3rd contract with the Bills. After his contract ends, so I'm talking like they got like 3 or 4 years if they want to win it. Same for Lamar. If they want to win a Super Bowl, they got this 3 or 4 year span. So I do think Joe Brady is a great head coach. Better than Sean McDermott? I don't know. Joe Brady did struggle at times last year. I remember that. Some people were calling for his job last year. They got a new stadium. The stadium, from what I've been hearing, is really nice. That might help them a bit. I think they do have a possibility of winning the Super Bowl. They'll probably be like 2nd or 1st in their division. Better or worse than last year? You can answer this. I do think better. I do think they have gotten better. They're a better team. Probably like Super Bowl or divisional round is where they're gonna. They either would like. I think they'll either get out like divisional round or they'll win a Super Bowl, and that's the possibility. Sky's the limit with them. Go ahead, Patriots.
Patriots. I think I would like to say it's now or never, but Drake May is just gonna get better.
Yeah, it's definitely
so I feel
now
like
or never.
You definitely want to see them win a Super Bowl this year, but still, if they don't, they're gonna win one in the next 5 years, definitely.
But I will say, people were saying with Lamar, like, well, we all know he's going to win one, even if it's not this year. Lamar and Allen, people would say that for years. Now people are like, "Oh boy, now they actually have to win one. This is where it was supposed to be. They're supposed to win one." So, do I think he will win one in the next 5 years? Good chance of that. Do I think it's now or never? Absolutely not. They have one of the youngest teams in the league. I'm very excited to see what they will do. But better or worse than that last year? And I know you think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. So you think better? I do think worse. I don't think this is Super Bowl year for them. I think the Bills are more desperate, so I think they are going to. Yeah, Bills and Ravens are more desperate, so I think probably if we're talking about who is going to win the Super Bowl, probably gonna be in the NFC. However, if we're talking AFC, I do think the Patriots might be a better team, but I have to say probably Bills, Patriots, and Ravens are the three teams. Maybe Broncos too. Those are like the four teams. Uh, NFC we'll talk about that more some other time. But those are the four teams that have contending chances. And go ahead, Dolphins.
Yeah, before Dolphins, I just want to say one more thing about the Patriots. I think that Drake May, I feel like he's just gonna get better. Definitely if he gets AJ Brown. So I feel like he's just gonna rise into his prime. So that's just gonna be a great thing. For him, and I think he's just gonna get better. In the Bills, a lot of people are saying it was a bad pick for the Bills trading for DJ Moore. I disagree because my opinion, yeah, you're gonna get a younger guy, but you're not gonna get anyone better than DJ Moore in the second round. So I feel like that was a good trade for both teams. Now talking about the Dolphins, instead of the sky is the limit, the sea is the limit.
Yeah,
the best they're going is 5-12.
no, I'm pretty sure they were 5-12 last year, and I do think they are going to improve from that. You have Malik Willis. I think he's better than Tua. I think he was the best free agent in the NFL last year, and this upcoming year, like for it, it was either him or Tyler Linbaum. They got the best QB you could get. Probably in the draft, he's probably better than Ty Simpson. Probably better option. So pretty smart there. You're not gonna take Ty Simpson with whatever they had fifth pick, whatever. I don't know exactly. But he has a like he has a very high potential. The team around him, they lost Tyreek Hill. They lost Jalen Waddle. That is the big thing. And I think Willis doesn't have much help. That's my concern. They decreased in the offseason so much. I mean, you lost Tua. Like I said, Willis probably better than Tua. But yeah, Tua was time to go. You fired your head coach, clean slate. However, it's pretty big when you lose your two best wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, he was used to be one of the best in the league. Jalen Waddle is one of the best in the league. The Broncos took him. That's why the Broncos could possibly win a Super Bowl this year. Would not be surprising. They got their big wide receivers, but they needed him and Cortland Sutton. But they're an interesting team for sure, and I think it's either going to be like 7 wins or like 2 wins. So we'll have to see how it goes. Leo, finally, the New York Jets.
Yeah, Jets, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
so there's 2 teams that are Super Bowl contenders, and then there's 2 teams that are first pick contenders.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. I mean, so right now, Geno Smith might be probably gonna be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. He had a lot of interceptions last year.
Enough said, Geno Smith.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got a rookie QB though. I forget. I'm sorry. I kind of didn't pay attention to the later rounds of the draft with QBs, but no, Nussmeier's with the.
Who is he?
Steelers, I think. I think Steelers, but they're they're not a skilled roster. You don't have Sauce Gardner anymore. However, I am looking forward to the future of the. I know this sounds crazy to say it, and I would never imagine myself saying that, but because they traded Quentin Williams and they traded Sauce Gardner, New York Jets fans, you have a future of hope in the organization. And the reason why I say that is because what they have like 3 first rounders next year, I think. Great QB class. Go and get Dante Moore. Go and get Dante Moore. Go and get someone great. You just got the second pick in the draft this year. You'll probably have the first. You might have the first pick this year. Go out and get Arch. Go out and get Dante. Go out and get Sane. Go get out and get Lavley. Franchise QBs. All those guys probably. And so, Jets fans, there's always 5 years from now.
Just one thing to add. When you think of garbage football teams, you think of
The Browns,
the Jets and the Browns. I don't see any of those teams when I think of them winning a Super Bowl in the next 100 years.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you said that, I was just like,
What? However, I am right though. They do have a
Yeah,
reason
yes.
for
they're
optimism.
probably gonna get a good quarterback, and then he's just gonna end up like a great quarterback on a garbage team. And then he's gonna lead their team, and he's gonna be a great quarterback.
Wait, but let's say Geno Smith shows optimism next year. This is just something that it could possibly be. Let's say he shows optimism. However, the team does not play great. Okay, just say that he works well with the Jets, his former team. He comes back to the Jets. However, it does not work out with the rest of the team. You have the second pick in the draft. Okay, what would it be like if they go out and get Jeremiah Smith, and Geno Smith is throwing darts to his cousin, Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in college football history, arguably? That would be interesting, and it's not that far out of reach. All we need is for Geno Smith to do something good, and Jeremiah Smith to keep playing good, and for the Jets to do bad, which that doesn't seem out of reach, right?
All I'm saying is here. All you need is the Jets to do bad, what's likely, and the Colts to do bad, and then you could have something like one of the great quarterbacks from that in Jeremiah Smith do it up. If they have that, yeah, they're good. Besides that, they're not going to be good in the future.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
You can get like, because you have high draft picks, Colts if they do bad. Who else? Dallas if they do bad. I think they have Dallas first on it. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But like, if you go out and you get in next year's draft, you get either Sayin, Arch, or Dante, and you get Jeremiah Smith. That's a football team. You don't need anyone else. You got those players. I think that about wraps it up, though, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we started our show talking about Fernando Mendoza. Is he a bust or not? And we ended talking about hope and optimism for the New York Jets. Crazy show, but we're gonna be doing more shows more often now that it's summer, hopefully. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. You guys have any topics you want us to talk about for the show? Then let us know. We will consider it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching the Deoxys and Rose podcast. We'll see you next time.